Yo, what's going on, y'all, man? It's your boy Rick Taylor back with another episode of that Rick Taylor Entertainment Podcast. And I'm here with, man, my homie, man. I knew this guy since high school, you know. Good dude, good person. Always been himself. Never tried to fit in, not a follower, a leader. Positive person, man, all around, like a super positive person, you know. And I always, admired that about you, bro. I'm here with my boy, man, Carlos Tyler, man. What's going on with you?
Appreciate it, bro, man. I know real quick for the viewers, man, we talked, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
When I was saying I dropped my podcast, the Soul Podcast, and right away, before me knowing you had that, I saw your clips on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, let me inbox him right away. And the reason why is because it's like, I remember all the different things you were doing with the photography and stuff like that. And me just getting into the podcast world, I'm like, let me tap into you, right? Mm-hmm. But the conversation we had, and again, you know, not to get so in-depth into it, the conversation we had blew my mind because, remember, prior to that, I haven't talked to you since high school.
Right.
I graduated a year before you.
Right.
And just the growth, I'm like, this right here, we got to collab. And so, I didn't know you was going to call me this quick.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure, man. I'll keep my word, man. I appreciate you for even reaching out to me and stuff like that, bro, because that really meant a lot, bro. And he was just letting me know, like, bro, you're doing a good job. Yeah. Keep doing it. And it feel good to hear that, bro. Like, you know, not saying I need to hear all the time to keep me motivated because I know what I'm doing and we all know what we're doing as humans and are part of serving our purpose. Yeah. But it feels good to just hear that you're doing something good and on the right track and you're being positive and trying to give a platform to others. Mm-hmm. Now, I met you in high school, bro.
Yep.
Like, when I met you, bro, good vibes, bro. Yeah. Funny.
Yeah.
You know, you were smart.
Mm-hmm. We ain't got 4 degrees.
Yeah, man, which we gonna get into that for sure. 4 degrees. Yeah. And then, man, like, you know what? Another thing, bro. Like, you always been yourself, bro. Like, you know what? You made me look at it like dressing, like the way, like you dressed. Used to wear suits sometimes. Yeah, bro. I still even though it's probably for basketball and all that, bro. But I was like, man, that dude. You had no problem wearing it. You knew how to wear it. Yeah. Like, you had a certain confidence and energy about yourself, bro. Yeah. Like, and I was like, bro, it's really cool, bro. Like, and the way you carried yourself, I'm like, man, I could see bro being something, like, he positive. I could see me being around him. I could see him influence other people, like, and stuff like that. Yeah. So, man, I want to just tell you, bro, congratulations, bro. Thank you. For sure, because we came a long way, bro. And it's just like to see where we at today, bro. To hear you got 4 degrees, you know, you still on track. Yeah. You still that positive person. Mm-hmm. And you know, you're doing the podcast and now, and like we need more people like that out here that's positive and stuff to be doing podcasts. And I'm new to it myself. Right. So for us to be linking right now is dope. And I know we're gonna have a good conversation because, like, man.
We personally know each other.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. We personally know each other. Yeah. And bro, just like the knowledge that you got, bro. Mm-hmm. I know you can spread it to somebody and you know, and stuff like that. But we gonna dig. So let me explain this too. Like the show is open for everybody. You know, it's a lot of rappers and stuff and artists that come on here, but it's also for entertainers, politicians. Anybody who want to come up here, it don't really matter what you do. Yeah. Like, you come up here and vent and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And also, like, I like to, before we start, also I want to say this episode is sponsored by Danny Graphics. She do logos. Danielle Taylor, she do a lot of logos. She's good. She do business cards, flyers, backdrops. She can get you shirts. She can get you all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty good. And, you know, good quality, good designs and all that. And also, it's also sponsored by Makeup Junkie as well, which is her brand. Is again, she has a lot of makeup. She has her own makeup line. Been having it for like over about 4 or 5 years. It's good quality, good stuff. It's actually named, like, all of her products is pretty much named after marijuana. You know, for all you pretty potheads out there that like makeup and stuff like that, there's definitely something for you to get into. And,
that's dope. You said that because I'm gonna link with her.
Yeah, for sure. And the link will be down here, y'all. Y'all see it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Carlos, for my fans, for the people who want to know, who probably don't know you, where was you born and raised?
So right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The funny part is I was born and raised right off of Hubbard and Center on the east side. So this is my stomping ground. So when you stated like where you was at, I really didn't need the address because I knew I knew where it was at. But right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, man, my mom had 4 boys. My oldest brother Charles, by the way, he just had a heart attack.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, he's doing better. He'll be 37 in December. And I got my big brother Calvin who getting married Saturday. Talk about a story. He just got out of prison and got out. Got his own transportation business, had another 2 babies, and now getting ready to get married. So that's a blessing within itself.
Yeah,
and then my
man.
little brother Davis, who's 29 and doing really well, exceptional. He actually got me into wanting to buy a charger because he make it look like how you just said how I make suits look cool.
Yeah.
He make driving that Charger powerful, like you just like masculine, elegant, but he's so smooth with it. So I'm like, I'm finna get the Charger.
I used to always want the Charger back in the day because Chargers came out. It was like 08 when they came out. Like, man, them things cold.
Bro, yeah, it is, man. And so, but yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of me, man. I love it here in Milwaukee. As me and you were talking off camera, man, right down the street, Chicago. And obviously, Chicago has way more things. It's the 3rd biggest city in the country for anyone that didn't know. I'm a history guy. But the beautiful part about it is it's so many things to see that I'm looking to purchase a condo down there sometime in the next few years. But, man, Milwaukee, for me, has taught me so much about perseverance, surviving, the struggle, being able to, utilize all those things to be better, right? Because I think, and the reason why I want to hit that is because a lot of things that are on the news, you hear so much negativity, but there's so much positive stuff here.
Yeah,
like,
it is
a lot, man. And so, I try my best to keep the city on my back and just really mantra how amazing we are here in the city. And how unique. I think that's important too, right? Like we're very unique people, and what will make us branch out for people to see is for us to do this, right? Collaboration, sharing information, sharing ideas, sharing stories, and really at the end of it being uplifting. How can we progress this to the next generation? I have 4 children, 3 girls and 1 boy. So I'm always doing things to make sure that they understand and know, this is how it should look. Doing things together. So.
Right. Man, that's nice, man. That's good to hear, man. Shout out to your brother, man, who just got out of prison and he turned his life around. He took that second chance and just made something about it, like made something out of himself. Excuse me. And with you having 4 kids, man, what's that like, man?
Ooh.
What is that like?
So let's track back. I actually have technically 5. I had a son who passed away when I was married back in 2000.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thanks, man. I tell people when I talk about it, it's a blessing because my son gave me a second understanding of what life is. Like I feel like God gave me a second chance to look at life differently when I was back when I was married in 15. But a father of 4, I tell you what, it challenges you every day. The beautiful thing I love about being a father is being wanted. Like I love being wanted, being needed. It is such a great feeling that you're in the world and people really want your attention. People want you to do stuff with, learn, grow, cry with you, right? My kids, I'm an emotional person. So my kids they can feel me when dad's not feeling well or something's going on. And I can literally talk to my kids. And for me, that's a great feeling because even through children, it lets you know that they're powerful, right? Using the tutelage of having them listen, being able to learn so many different things. And then the other beautiful part is that they teach you how to just be a kid. Like we're grown adults.
Yeah.
And because we get so serious about bills and everything else, we forget the most component thing in the world. And it's just like have fun.
Right.
My kids teach me how to have fun still. Yeah. So that's a beautiful thing with them, man.
Yeah, and they teach you like to have fun and have time because the bills do have to get paid.
Yeah.
But something I learned that somebody said before, and it was deep. It was like you can buy your kids all that stuff and all that, but at the end of the day, they remember. They're not gonna remember you bought this. They're gonna remember you was here.
Yes.
Time.
Yes.
That's what it's about too. Is time. So when my shorty get here, man, I want to make sure I gave it a lot of time.
Man, shout out to you, bro.
Thank you.
That's gonna be. I'm telling you right now. You better get ready to just experience every moment.
Yeah.
Every moment.
Every moment.
Because in my phone, it pops up stuff from like 3-4 years ago, and I'm like, dog, this is crazy. Like you don't. Because it goes so fast. And I didn't believe that. It ain't for real.
It goes fast. Time flying. Like, it's flying now, man. Just go. Like, you know what I'm saying? It flies because, like, say, for instance, we just talking about we met each other in high school. Bro.
High school, bro.
Look how long we've been out of high school.
15 years, bro.
That's 15 years, bro. That is crazy, bro. Almost at 20 years, bro. Yeah. So much done happened, bro.
Yeah, it has, man.
Yeah. Speaking of high school, man, we're going to get to that. Like, what was like your, first, before we get to high school, what was your childhood like growing up as a kid in your household?
4 kids, my beautiful mother, who's the greatest blessing next to my children, truly, that I've had as an example of being a human being in general. And then my stepfather, who's great, came into a household of 4 boys and took us in like his own. To this day, my mom and dad are still together, 30 plus years later. But it was tough growing up on the east side of Milwaukee. It was very tough. I was born on 21st and Hadley, but we migrated over to the east side, and that's where majority of my childhood was at. Mm-hmm. But it was rough because we had to share rooms, which was fine. I mean, but my big brothers, they were like studs in school, so they didn't really mess with me and my little brother like that, right?
Yeah.
They didn't want me to run and play with them and stuff like that. I was under my mom a lot. And see, here's the other challenging part for me is that I'm biracial. I'm Puerto Rican and black. Mm-hmm. So my father, I didn't meet him till I was 18, October 18th. I'll never forget it, 2007 in high school. Came to my high school after football practice. It's the first time I met him. But the reason why it was hard is because I saw my other brothers' dads come in their lives, take them to trips, Six Flags, whatever, and I didn't have that, right? I had my stepfather, but it's nothing like it's nothing like it. And shout out to all the stepdads that do step up, you know what I mean? I mean, nothing against them. But, I always wondered, like, where I came from, apart from my mom. So that was hard for me. But what ended up happening for me was I discovered basketball at about 9 years old. I wasn't very good at it, but I discovered it. And what made me like it so much is that I found myself connecting with people, and I always love people. Like, I mean, I'm a people's person. I'm always trying my best to try to build relationships. If friendships happen, so be it. But relationships is huge to me. And once I found the love for that, it all started coming together as far as like me being with my brothers, understanding how they were able to move around with friends, how they were able to like level up in different things. And for me, basketball taught me how to like structure my life.
Right.
In so many ways. You gotta participate with your team. You gotta practice. You gotta, go through errors and learn stuff like that. So I was so intrigued all the time, and I never wanted to not stop playing. So always playing. And then right before high school, my mom kind of lost us in the system a little bit. Brothers and them got a little older. My little brother went to his dad's, and then I went to my grandma's. And that's where it got a little rough because I'm always with my mom, my brothers. But again, basketball kept me rooted. Mm-hmm. And so for me, that kind of kept me together a lot.
Man, that's deep, man. I can imagine what that feeling was like you being with your mom all the time.
Yep.
And now you finna go with grandma.
Oh, man.
Like, what was that like growing up with grandma and stuff?
So it wasn't too much of a struggle from that standpoint of being with my grandma, but it ain't nothing like your mom.
Right.
Me always seeing her laugh, smile, and just being around. She's the provider. Now, my grandmother stayed around the corner off Lloyd Street. So, again, we were very close. The difference became when I could not access my mom. She didn't have a phone. She's trying to find herself, and things of that nature. And I always tell people the greatest gift next to being born that my mom did for me was give me to my grandma, because it gave me a second chance at life, as far as going to high school, being able to play ball. That didn't stop anything. Like, imagine if I was with my mom going from house to house.
Right.
You know, it would have been harder.
Right.
I had stability with my grandma. And one thing that my mom and grandma knew for sure is that whenever she wanted to see me, she could. Now, my mom wasn't on drugs or anything, but she had to find herself in a sense of, you know, money, jobs to jobs, trying to find a stable home. And what she didn't want to do, and this is a thing I want women to understand too. Being a good mother, sometimes you have to do the unsubconscious thing that you will never think you will have to do in order to sacrifice for your kids.
Right.
My mom had to sacrifice giving up her responsibility of taking care of me every single day in order for me to have a better life. For that, I always thank her.
Yeah.
Like, always. And she cry every time I talk. I can call her right now. She'll cry because she understood how tough and hard it was at that time to do so. But she knew when giving me to my grandma, it was like her raising me. And I understood it because my grandma was amazing. I went to the store with my grandma. We went grocery shopping. She went to my games and church. Went to church all the time. And like, we built that relationship to the point now I'm her power of attorney. Like, anything happened to my grandma, they call me. Yeah. Like, that's my love. I love my granny.
And that's good, bro, because, like, you know, having grandma and your grandparents in your life, bro, is a whole another blessing. Mm-hmm. Because these, not only, like, these your mom's parents. So you see how your mom is, and you love your mom and your parents so much. You see where they got it from, and you know grandma's always gonna be extra sweet with the young kids and stuff like that. So
we was greased, spaced up. I tell you that.
Yeah, man. My grandma, she was a good woman, but I think it was too many of us. For her to kind of like, we used to get on her nerves. Like, it was like, goddamn. But she was a good woman, man. Rest in peace to her.
Yep.
Now, going to school, man, like I like that you said you was a people person, because you know what's, like, before we get into school, you know what I realized? Well, this kind of in school still.
Yeah.
I've never seen you get mad.
Nah, bro.
I've never.
Shout out to you for noticing that.
I've never seen this man get mad at nothing. But at the same time, I never seen you get put in a position for you to get mad.
Bingo.
I've never seen you in a position to get, like, because you always, like, that's why I used to look at you like, man, he's always happy. He carries himself well, bro. Yeah. Everybody know Carlos, he cool. And it's like, you're not trying to be the cool dude that's like befriending everybody. You was cool with everybody.
Yeah.
Speak to everybody and all that. Yeah. To the point, like, I ain't seen you by you being happy and having fun.
Yep.
It made some people feel some kind of way. Like, man,
yes, it did.
That's what it is. But it's crazy because now you think about, we get older, like, you think about it like, you only mad because it's something like within you that's going on, and you don't even know how to handle it.
Yeah,
which is, we're gonna get into that too, because that's like a whole nother topic. Yeah, that's tonight's topic. It's mental health and stuff. Now, let me ask you, like, how were you in high school and stuff like that?
So, when I discovered basketball at an early young age, I didn't think I would be as good as I was.
He was good too, bro.
And thanks, bro.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
I still am. I just want you to know
nice with that rock.
I still am. I knew that would carry me into high school. Now, from elementary, from 5th grade to 8th grade, I won like 6 championships. Like, we went almost undefeated, lost 3 games in the years I played. And when I got into high school, I didn't know what to expect. Like, our first day is all freshmen. So it was packed. I'm thinking, like, dog, it's like maybe 1,000, 1,500 of us. Because Hamilton, the biggest school in the city, MPS, it's the biggest high school. By the second day, it was about 4,000 of us. So I'm like, coming from being the jock in school to being one of many people was like crazy to me. But what carried me was what you just stated, how I talked. Yeah. My mannerisms, being respectful. Positive, and not fit, that right there, what you stated, not fitting in or trying to fit in, because I always knew I had something unique within myself, and I never wanted to be something fake. I just don't. It's something about people trying to be too much that's a bother to me, and not that I'm mad at folks that do that, but we have to learn to. If people don't love you for who you are, man, you just don't need to deal with them.
Facts.
Right? So as I got into high school, quickly people gravitated to me more so because of how I was. Mm-hmm. And that made it much easier for me. I never had an issue in high school. Like you said, you rarely saw me.
Never seen it.
Because the greatest component next to my heart is my mouth. I know how to talk. I know how to talk eloquently, very professionally, exquisitely, and I also knew how to talk on people's level because I came from something.
Now let me ask you this, not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
How did that happen? Like not saying how did it happen.
I already know you want this question.
But how did you form? How did you become the person you is? The way you talk, the way you think, the way you learn. Were you reading books and were you into different things?
Absolutely. I was the eyeball. I was a cornball, what they say.
Yeah.
I wasn't your typical hood child.
Right.
I was born in the hood, but I wasn't the hood child. And because people knew that, they isolated me from a lot. So I didn't get in a lot of trouble because people actually looked out for me. They was like, no, you different. You definitely, I'm not a thug. I'm going to just say this out right now. I never held a gun. I don't own a gun. I never did drugs, none of that. So because they knew that, and I also played sports, and I was able to jig, I was able to just be with everybody. But it was who I was internally that made people really love me for who I was. I will be around my friends and read books while they talking about girls and stuff, bro.
Right.
Writing.
I saw that too.
Literally.
I saw that.
Yeah. Because I always knew in my head that while they're talking about things like that, I came from something that I never want to go back to.
Right.
So I always wanted to brush up on everything in the world because I like to talk. And I wanted to make sure when I talked to people, people knew I stood out. I knew what I was talking about. So for me, it carried me, even to this day, so many different places where people man, you different because of this. And I'm like, man, listen, you can be the bum on the street, but what makes you unique is what you need to have in order for you to shine. And for me, it was always doing the opposite things of what people didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Always. So that's what, that's where I got it from.
Right. And that's how it was. What I'm saying, I always seen that and I always admired that. I'm like, bro, it's really himself. And I was myself too.
You were.
But I never tried to fit in. I had an incident my senior year when I got into a fight helping my guy and all that. But that was it, bro.
Yeah.
And I was kind of shocked too. But at the time,
because that ain't your character,
right? And you know how it is. If you with this guy, you rapping, and then something happened, you just standing there, you want to help.
Yeah.
Like I said, but that didn't define me. How that defined me, I shocked myself. But at the same time, other than that, though, I was a good kid, man.
Yeah.
I never tried to fit in. And somebody else told me, Rick, I respect you, bro, because you never tried to. He was talking to somebody else. Rick never tried to fit in at all. And to be honest, I didn't do a lot of things in high school. I didn't go to prom. I didn't go to football games and stuff.
I didn't know that.
I didn't do none of that, bro, because I don't know. I honestly feel like I was really didn't. Back in high school, I know I wasn't trying to fit in, but I don't really think I knew who I was.
That's it.
That's what it was. I didn't know who I was, and I didn't want to. I found me at a short period of time. I wouldn't say fit in, but I tried to please people.
Hey,
by making them laugh, try to be oh, hey, check this out,
because you did.
Yeah, I was be doing that. Hey, you know how the memes be and shit. And they do skits now. I was doing that before they was doing that, bro. But I was I started thinking about what are you doing, bro? It's just I'm not saying it wasn't me. It was something I found, but at the same time, I look back on it you didn't have to do all that because that ain't even your character now. You can do, I can do skits or something, but it's that ain't my character. And that's when you get older, and I started looking back, I started realizing. When you get older, you start knowing more who you is, what you like.
The experiences help you.
Exactly, and you stop caring about what people think. Because I think that's what it was, too. I cared about what people think, thought about me, and you didn't. And I noticed that,
Here's the funny part. At a point I did. I hit it very well. Because remember, I'm a very emotional person, so I gravitate to people that are going through stuff. And I just want to, I always wanted to, for me, because I didn't feel loved as much as I felt like I should have, I always flung to people that I felt that were maybe less fortunate than me, and I tried to come together and encourage them which ultimately spiritually encouraged me to be the best I can be. So we both felt the same. I just didn't show it on my shoulders because I also didn't know how to be vulnerable. That's a whole nother topic, by the way. But I've learned over the times to learn to be vulnerable. And it helped so much in my growth, bro. Like, because I knew who I was, but I didn't know how to use that to gravitate what I need out of life. You know, so that was the thing for me.
But yeah, man, like, I like I said, I paid attention to that. You know, a lot of times we probably feel like people not really paying attention to us, but a lot of times they are. Yeah. Like, and I'm like, that's the only thing I regret about high school is like not doing certain things and not really experiencing much.
Is it like sports and all that stuff, maybe?
It was that, like not trying out for basketball. That was my love.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's what I admired about you, bro. Like in high school, bro, you was always yourself and stuff like that. And like a lot of times we feel like people not paying attention, but they really is. And I was paying attention to that, bro. And I was like, man, that like dude cool in his own way. Like, you know, like he himself, he wears suits, he's happy, he's positive, he want to go to class, he ain't trying to be out here, no smoking, no drinking, no getting into it. And that's not saying like cause you now. I'm not saying this to say like cause like you was soft and you was a punk, cause you wasn't.
No.
But at the end of the day, you knew who you was. Yep. You would escalate something. Like I mean, you would try to like diffuse the situation before it get there. Yeah. And like to be honest with you, anybody who wanted to get into it with you or just didn't feel like they had a problem with you, that was within, bro. Because you never done nothing to nobody.
I appreciate
and like
I
said,
bro.
For sure. And I never done nothing to nobody. I just had that incident.
You were just helping out.
Just trying to help out and like prove something. And like to be honest, like I said, like the only thing I regret about high school, really, bro, is just me not really experiencing nothing like prom and going to these things now that I have this mindset. Yeah. And it was mainly because I had like insecurities. I let my insecurities really get to me.
That's deep, man.
And worry about what people are going to think of me, what people are going to say, or not want to do this and that. But but it was still cool. Like high school was cool. Yeah. It was still cool. Like, it was a learning experience. Yeah. Like I said, I knew people, and like I didn't talk to nobody, or I wasn't the shell. Like I knew people.
You were pretty popular. Like, people knew who you were.
Exactly. Yeah. They did. But it's just like within, like, you know how sometimes you could be thinking something.
Yep.
But whole time it's just you thinking this. Nobody else thinking this.
Yep.
This is just you. Like, and I think that's what it was. Because like to this day, sometimes I had moments like that, and I just think like, bro, that's probably just you just thinking that. Yeah. And we all had that.
Yeah, we do.
That's like somebody thinking they ugly and like, no, that's just you.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, bro, I never really like regretted nothing other than that. I think I was a good person. I was, and like I said, like it was cool to meet you, bro. And I want to say, bro, I appreciate you, bro, because like you always was cool to me, bro.
Thank you, bro.
You never treated me no different way. And like, let me ask you something, like, because I hear you were saying you was different a lot.
Yes.
Like, why? Like, does that bother you for people to say like, oh, he different, or he like, because you know in the black community, right?
Yeah.
We talk like, say for instance, some people talk proper.
Yeah.
Like, and I had this with my ex. Like a lot of times, like a lot of people always like she talk white, or she proper and stuff like this. Like, or you say things, you into different things like music, like whatever the thing is, like just the opposite of what we grew up around. Like, why is that considered weird? And like, did that bother you?
You know what? Those are all good questions, and I'm about to hit every one of them. The first one is that it did, because I didn't understand being younger why people did that. Right? I'm just trying to be who I am, be me, be authentic, whatever you want to call it. At the time, authentic was whatever. But the other component to that is you hit it. The insecurities within themselves, because they're trying to portray something for other people to see them, to like them. And for me, it was just natural to be who I am. And I thought that was always, and still to this day, it's the greatest way to be. With that being said, man, what we as a people need to learn and understand is that being educated doesn't have a color. So when you hear somebody say you trying to be white, that's a disrespectful thing to say.
Right, that's very disrespectful.
Because our ancestors fought for us to be well-educated, well-spoken, well-postured, everything.
Exactly.
In order for people to take us serious and know that we come with the vengeance of control, taking over dominion of things that we feel that it's owed to us. It has nothing to do with being white and being a color. That That's a stigma
that
people need to get over. Being who you are has everything to do with doing the right thing. So that means whatever you were born with, you use it to your best abilities to capitalize the things you want in life. Whatever you learn on that journey along the way is just a plus.
Right.
So after a while, I didn't even care because then I started figuring out who I was, and quickly, and this is no shot at nobody, but because I knew who I was early enough, I looked at you as like a sucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, you know what I mean?
Exactly, because it's like, what is you doing all this extra stuff for? Why are you even wasting your time trying to pinpoint something I'm doing that's different from what you doing? Mm-hmm. I used to like. Don't get me wrong, you know, you can be around certain people that influence, but I've never really like. I don't really think I ever really like diss somebody for being properly spoken and stuff like that. I was friendly to everybody, bro, because I know we all different. We all go through our same thing, and I never really understood it. Like, oh, you trying to act white, or you ain't? Why you acting like you're black? At the end of the day, you're black. Yeah, my skin tone is black. Like, what
your you pigmentation?
Talking about? Like, and I had, you know, what's crazy?
What's that?
Man, we talking about this a couple years back at my job. I had a girl tell me that too. Like, I think she said I act white or something. I'm like.
I really just
like, what the that kind of like it didn't
rubbed
make
you the
me
wrong
mad.
way.
It rubbed me the wrong way, but I didn't get mad. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, because I'm like, and I'm not even a super most properly talking person, but I'm like, what does that mean? Just because I'm not sitting here talking about somebody or being messy, or I'm not talking like, you know, a lot of cussing, or I'm talking hood. Like, I'm from, like, we from this. We got this in us, but like. Because I talk a little proper and I want to have manners, like I'm supposed to be acting white. Like, I never understood that. Like these sound crazy. Like,
and like you said, man, you didn't get mad, but it's like an insulting thing. Like,
it really was,
and it's not just insulting me; it should be insulting to you too. Because if you look at me like that, what do other people look at you as?
Exactly.
Right. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of people that don't see that type of mantra in us, it's because all they see is hood or, you know, gang bang or whatever. That's really all they see. What they don't understand is that, you know, being well spoken or talking with a certain type of elegance behind you brings about the employer to be like, okay, I want to deal with you. Not the fact that because you come from Center Street or whatever, it's because you can turn it on and off when necessary.
Right.
And like you just alluded to the greatest thing in this subject, that we all come from this. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm from the east side. You from some. Everybody come from something.
Right.
But elevation has to do with change, right? And with change comes about a way of looking and thinking and being something that's different from where you come from.
And one thing I want to speak on too about that, like, we all come from a place. We all, like, especially being black.
Yep.
We come from a background of not having much inheritance to us. So I'm proud of a lot of us, especially you, like, you know, from coming from, you welcome, from hearing your story and coming from where we come from.
Yeah.
The type of person you turn out to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, easily you could have had all those feelings wrapped up.
Sure could have.
And could have just took that and turned into anger and went to another route.
There you go.
And to the point, like, hurting people. And like I said, I kind of used to be, like, I wouldn't say judgmental 100%, but I used to kind of, like, didn't understand why certain people was the way they was, but I kind of understood it, like, started getting older, and somebody asked me, I used to argue with somebody about this, like, you know, it's our environment. I get it, like, you know what I'm saying, by us, like, a lot of it, you got to want better for yourself. But a lot of times we did stuff, or we probably do stuff that we don't see as wrong because we seen it as being normal.
Yep.
But it comes a time where you just know it's within you. I kind of started seeing, like, you know, I want to carry myself different. I don't want to get looked at as this. Not saying that we all get looked at as a certain type. Like, it don't really matter what you is, like how you dress or whatever, you're going to get looked at. But it's just a certain way I wanted to carry myself and how I wanted to feel. Like, I wanted to wear the suits. I wanted to talk with proper English. I wanted to act a certain way and act accordingly and be friendly, bro, and just show love, bro. Because it's like, it's so much hatred and negativity in here. It's so easy to get into trouble and get into negativity.
Super easy.
Versus being positive. And I'm like, bro, like, which we gonna get into mental health, like just getting older and understanding about a lot of stuff we going through that we didn't understand.
Yep.
Like it makes me personally just want to be more positive, bro. Be a better person, bro. Like, and just learn myself, and like it's a journey. It's like it's not a race. It's like, and for the people out there, man, every day, like it's never too late for us to learn something new or just try to better ourselves, bro. Like, and not let our situation or our environment, like, let it define us.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to be who you is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of times, like it took me a while to understand, like to really realize, like, nah, bro, like. Do what you want to do, listen to what you want to listen to, be who you want to be. Yep. And if they don't accept you, they just don't accept you.
That's it.
Because you shouldn't have to be trying to fit in for somebody or trying to feel like. I watch a lot of like different people. My shout out to Wallo. I really watch Wallo, and he really helped me a lot, bro. Like he be like, live for you and fuck what other people got to say.
It's a great point.
Because once you start, like he said, you got to get a fuck it button. Once you get that, bro, I hear that a lot. Like you gotta get a fucking buddy, because once you stop caring about what other people think about you, that's when your life get better.
Yeah,
and that is true, bro. Because like I've been slowly progressing into that, like not caring what nobody think and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. You only get one life, and you gotta live it.
That's it.
So, yeah, man. Now, you said you had 4 degrees, man. What do you got 4 degrees in?
So, business administration. I have a minor. A lot of people don't know this part. While doing my business degree, it was a accelerated program for psychiatry, and I took it. So I got a minor in psychology. Television and film production from MATC.
Dope.
And it is, bro. Super, because my love is journalism. I love it a lot.
Yeah, it fits you. Yeah.
Thank you.
For sure.
And nutrition and fitness. So all those components make of who I am, and that's why I wanted to attack it really heavy. And I'm a talker, right? So the psychology part really enhanced so much in me that I didn't even realize that. And then I always tell people this: don't let my degrees fear you. It's whatever we learned, it was always in us anyway, right? It's how we capitalize what we have to get what we need to be successful. But what happened when I professionally went through that, it showed me how to really button up on how to look at people, how to approach, how to talk, how to understand. That part is important. Understand why someone does something. If you can answer the whys in anything, you'll always understand any situation you get into. So doing that program really helped me understand everything in the world. Even if you don't agree with it, it helps you understand it. So
that's crazy. Like so it's like pretty much like, say for instance, you see the way somebody acting.
Yes.
And like it's your friend or something.
Yeah.
And it's something they do you don't like, but you learn to like understand why they act like that. And it's like kind of like if you're gonna accept it or you gotta just move around.
Yeah. I've never been judgmental in my life, bro. See, it's funny you were sitting here saying you're not judgmental. I've never, because I came from something where people judge me all the time. And I hate people talking about people. I mean, I don't use that word hate a lot, but I hate when people talk about people. So, but the other part of it, I always wondered why. Why are you like that? And instead of getting myself upset and mad, I try to put myself in their shoes and be, instead of sympathetic, I'd be more empathetic. Try to empathize with their situations, their upbringing. And as bad as my situation may have been, someone's was worse. So I always just try to be grateful from where I came from, but be more grateful of the person that I'm looking at to help them either come out of it or to learn not to go that way.
Right.
Because a lot of people love being comfortable where they are, in spite of them saying they want to move away, because they're too afraid and fearful of the change that will dictate other people or how they look at them.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that.
That's a fact, bro, in everyday life. Like, that's why a lot of us be in the situations we be in, because we get comfortable. And, you know, I see a lot of things all the time, bro. Like I said, God be speaking to me.
Yeah.
Like, like it'd be like, say for instance, it'd be like a situation, like a video or whatever. It'd be like, in order to reach the person you want to be or success, you gotta go through uncomfortable phases.
That's awesome.
Just so you can, like, just say for instance, like, you have to go through the uncomfortable things just for, like, when it to the point it becomes comfortable to you.
Yeah.
When other people are uncomfortable with this situation, you've been through this. Like, I'm cool. I know who I am. I went through this phase. I know what I had to be. You know, that's just a part of, like, just growing and trying to be successful. Like, you gotta, to want to be better, you gotta be different. You gotta have different surroundings. And like this quote I always heard, like, to continue to do the same thing over and expecting a different result is insane. Insanity. Who was that?
I'm not sure who said it. Yeah. However, it's a powerful quote.
Yeah, it is, because it's like, it's crazy. Like, you be thinking like, okay, I'm gonna try this tomorrow. I'm gonna try this a little different, the same way but a little different. But no, you gotta do it different. You gotta do it different, man. Here,
I put something else on your brain, and I always try to have people be. I try to make things so simplistic so we won't overthink something. Because I'm a big thinker, so I overthink all day long.
Me too.
2 things. Think about a woman having a baby. They have to go through a trial 9 months. Every day, they have to find a way to make sure that this baby survives. So they're going through hormone changes. They're going through, and I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
They're going through mood swings, all different type of things. But the goal is to make sure that this is a healthy baby. In spite of the change, body, having all type of things on their face or whatever, they find a way to survive for another being. What's powerful about that is that they put themselves aside, right? They want to, so many times, again, I have 4 pregnancies. You watch them, they want to give up because it's too much. But for whatever reason, deep down inside, that's why I said we all got it in us, the it factor. They find a way to say, nope, because this is more important for the long haul. So they go through the trenches, they go through the throwing up, they go through all that to know that in 9 months, I'm finna have this beautiful specimen called a human that I can be proud of and spend the rest of my life teaching them all these different things. Here's the other one, going to the gym. Working out. You want to get in shape. You want to do all these different things. And all you can think about is how tough that is lifting that weight. What people don't try to think about is that if you don't do it, not only will you not look like that, you're going to be worse than where you are now. So we put ourselves in a mindset that I'm finna go through this crazy pain after I'm working out, after all the lifting, after all the running, I'm going to be tired. But the end goal is that I'm going to look like something I want to always be.
Yeah. So. That's true. Because I didn't have that myself. Like, man, goddamn. Hey, that's true, man. With everything, man, it's just like we quit when we
it get tough.
Yeah, it gets tough. It's up to, like, we got to think about the long, like you said, the long run.
You have to.
The long, like, man.
Yeah, that short stuff will get you caught up. Like, you wanna celebrate the little moments, but the biggest goal is what you want to look like. And you can imagine it in your head, bro. Like, we are powerful people. We can imagine, like, someone imagined to build this house. But they understood and knew it was going to take time, but they knew the end result. The money that it was going to bring, the happiness that it would bring people.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's deep, bro. That's something a lot of us got to look at and try to look at and stuff. Now, you have a podcast as well. Tell the people about your podcast.
Yeah, man. Thank you for letting me do that.
For sure.
To you for allowing me to do that. Seriously, it's called the Soul Podcast. It is November. So 5 months ago, I was driving and I was listening to a podcast, man. I pulled over in my driveway and the podcast, I forgot it was a sports one, but it was dope. And I'm like, man, I can talk. I got all these different things in me and I want to get it out. And I pulled over and I was crying in my driveway and God just hit me like, man, start your podcast.
You know what's crazy? Like, not to cut you off.
No, you good.
You just said something about crying, bro.
Yeah, I'm a big crier, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've been doing a lot of that lately.
That's okay.
Like, and it is okay.
It is.
Like, because we grow up like, boys don't cry, men don't cry. That's not, I'm here to tell you that's not true.
No.
Even if y'all want to cry around nobody, you cry by yourself, bro, because
yes.
you got to get that out. That's like a detox.
Yes.
In a sense of a way, bro.
You got it.
And there might be a time where you just listen to some music or something, or you just have a thought and you just cry. It could be like a sad reason, or it could be a happy reason, because you can be proud of where you at and where you become, and knowing where you came from, like, and just knowing what's in front of you, and just being thankful.
No, absolutely.
That is it, bro. Because like I always like look at life, bro. I had time. I'm a nice person.
Yep.
But I'm gonna be honest, bro. I done had times where I didn't like some people that was close to me.
Yep.
They kind of got like the angry me sometimes. Like, you sometimes you can take your anger out on the people who's closest to you.
Yeah, that's who get it the most.
Right. And like I'm just taking accountability, bro, because and it's like the type of person I am. When I notice I do that, I'm gonna immediately apologize.
That's awesome.
Because that's not in my character.
Yeah.
And it's like, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm wrong, because like it's just something I'm probably going through that you just probably don't know.
Yep.
And it's normal, but as long as you make it right,
and
you find out what is going on, you really deal with yourself. Because we all going through something, bro, whether we know it or not.
Yep.
And we gonna get into it. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna touch bases with the podcast, but I already know what you're talking about.
Go ahead.
So what ended up happening is all God wanted me to do was make sure that I pray every day. Ever since that day, I prayed every single day. So on my phone, I actually gotta read the prayer. I have a prayer every day. I read it 3 times a day, and just to keep God on my heart, on my mind. And the other component was make sure when I have the podcast that we are genuinely, at the end of it, try to figure out a solution. Because we can talk all day, but we don't come up with solutions. So I'm like, okay, if that's all that you're asking me to do, fine. The way I came about the name is because I wanted to touch people internally, to help them understand self-love is everything. And it was a lot of times where my insecurities came about because I didn't love myself enough. So I'm trying to, what you stated, please so many different people to make them happy, and I'm not making myself happy. Only because I'm diminishing the things that I want in order to make somebody else happy, but it's not reciprocated back.
Right.
So I'm forgetting who I am. And the greatest thing I always want people to understand and know is that no matter what we go through, we said it before we got on here, is you're loved. You're enough. Like, no matter what nobody say, what type of mental issues you may have, you are. God did not make a mistake by making you how you are. However, that's why he made people in the world to bounce things off of. If something's wrong, you conversate and have a talk. Maybe you're looking at something a certain way that you never thought of that can change you, right? So that was the purpose of the Soul Podcast and the name of it. And so when people come on, when I have guests, when I have conversations with myself, I always want 2 things to happen. 1, I want people to be authentic and understand this is a safe place for you to conversate and talk about very vulnerable, sensitive stuff. And 2, most importantly, I want a solution.
Right.
What can we do moving forward, whatever it is, to try to better one another? And
we talked about that, bro. Remember we had that phone conversation. We was talking about like how we want our platforms to be like a safe haven place, even though we talking to the world, but we want to like it can be like therapy, because you know how it is with like us coming up. I didn't know nothing about therapy. I know therapy was. I seen it on TV, but only time we really knew about it was when honestly, growing up, we heard therapy. We thought people was crazy.
Yep.
That's
especially in our community.
Yep. We either thought they was crazy or they had anger issues.
Yes.
That's it. It was never a situation where I just want somebody to vent to me.
Yep.
Excuse me, I want somebody to vent to, or I just want to find out why am I acting this way, or why this not working, or why I feel this way.
Yes.
We usually like find other ways to cope with it, or just deal with it and just let it go over. But realistically, like that's really messing us up.
Yeah.
And it's not normal. Like it's okay to talk to somebody, because I didn't even see like a lot of posts and be like, black men don't really have nobody to vent to. We can't vent to nobody. We got to keep it to ourselves. It's like, who told you that?
Yeah, that's not true.
That's not true at all. Like, who told you that? It's just the people who you venting to.
Yep.
That make you feel like that. Because, like, to be honest with you, if you got a good woman or a wife or a girlfriend, that should be the person you can vent to.
Yep.
Because that should be y'all should be each other's safe havens for each other.
Yep.
even your family, but at the same time, I get it. Mm-hmm. But it's just like I said, it's just about the person you vent into.
So what, and that's great. And to piggy on that more, this is the part of having a solution comes into play. So to fix that is we need to, as a people, ourselves, one, be willing to accept certain situations for what they are. And I'll give you an example. That if you're going through something, stop faking like you ain't really going through it. Right. Stop being naive. You are. 2, let's realize that you do need to talk to somebody. Again, this all starts with us. And if we learn that whatever's going on starts with us and show what it should look like, it can be reciprocated back. Mm-hmm. 3, we really, really need to take it upon ourselves to reach out to people. Okay? It's a tough thing, especially, like you said, as men, as black men, and we can only speak to what we are. Right? That if you go to someone with the conversation and it seems more sentimental or in their eyes soft, some people may want to shy away from it and look at you a certain way. But and what they don't understand is the vulnerability part that you're opening up. And hopefully, like a wound, you don't do something so bad to the wound where it never repairs. Meaning, your vulnerability is a wound, but I'm going to you as a doctor for healing to close it.
Right.
So, I like to use analogies too, bro.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
So, that's the third component. 4, we need to make it normal to talk to people. I can pick up the phone, Rick, bro. I know I ain't talked to you in a minute, bro, but I'm going through something. Can you give me like 5-10 minutes of your time? We don't know what a person to do for us in that moment because they just want you to be okay. The last thing you want to do is see Carlos be on the news suicidal because he was too afraid to reach out to you.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's how I usually be. Like, it'd be like till it's too late and to the point where we like, damn, why they ain't reach out?
Yeah.
But the whole time, we know why they ain't reach out because the way we came up,
that's it.
You don't even reach out.
Nope.
So it's like, it just be kind of sad, bro.
Mm-hmm.